Your media, where you are.
Psalm 96, verse 1 to 2 says, "Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord, all the earth. Sing to the Lord and praise his name. Proclaim his salvations day after day after day after day." I feel like that intro will make more sense once you know my guest today. Shalom, my beautiful beings. What's up, my soul family? Welcome to the Spiritual Bar. My name is Phumudzo Phumpie Mononde. Gonza kunakanga vasikana, mudzungwano kuvasena. And the Spiritual Bar is a safe space for us to cultivate your healing, spiritual awakening, all through holistic wellness, self-development, and everything that brings us closer to God. Of course, this is exclusively only at Your Media and www.she24.co.za. The intention is ascension, vibrate higher through shalom. You know what it is. I'm so excited to have you back here, and even more so excited to have our beautiful, creative, talented, ever so graceful guest today, Melisa Got Grace. Melisa, welcome to the Spiritual Bar.
Oh, beautiful introduction. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
I'm so
and
excited.
hi to all of your viewers and listeners.
Thank you for spending your time with us and sharing your energy and your presence. It is really appreciated.
Oh, you're only welcome.
All right, Melisa, so excited to have you here. Not only are you dropping bars for Jesus, but you're also dropping Insta bombs. A few days ago, you announced some amazing news that you have been nominated not once, not twice, but 3 times for the 28th International Gospel Choice Awards in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh my goodness. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, this is definitely one of the things that I've been working towards. Recognition is one thing, but international recognition is
Right?
just on another level. It means what we're doing is reaching. It's not just reaching South Africans, but it's reaching as far as Atlanta, Georgia. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Across borders. You're nominated for International Female Artist of the Year, International Song of the Year, Rap Hip Hop Artist of the Year. And the EP was dropped about a year ago. Did you
Yes,
expect
around this time,
this
actually.
kind of ripple effect?
Listen, it was an EP, and
Yeah.
the whole point of an EP is for it to be short, brief, but just to give people a taste of what you have to offer. Little did I know that taste would be, so recognized with the
Yes.
Ngoma Awards,
Yeah,
the Crown
the Crown
Awards,
Awards.
and now the Gospel Choice Awards in Atlanta. I mean,
Well, God is definitely working, and we're super excited to see more from you. But let's take a little bit of a rewind back.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit. Give us a 411 on who Melisa Got Grace is.
first and foremost, Melissa is a lover of Jesus, a follower of Jesus more than anything. I think that's top of my list of priorities. But I'm also a rapper, a gospel rapper. I'm also a mother. I'm also a professional voiceover artist. I'm an actress. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a wife.
So many hats that you wear.
A lot of slashes.
A lot of slashes. I like that. I like that. I love that. And you wrote your first song at around 13 years old. Tell us, do you think that writing music or ministering music was part of your spiritual calling in life?
I think so. Because, for some reason, music has always been there. But it wasn't until I made the transition in my faith that I transitioned to gospel music. And it wasn't till then that I saw the hand of God literally in something that I'm doing, starting from nothing, starting from scratch with nobody knowing who Melisa God Grace
Yeah.
was. I definitely felt the hand of God
Yeah.
after I made that transition. So
Yeah.
I think the gift was always there, but I think it's always just been building up to this point where I can use that gift now for his kingdom, because ultimately his plans are ultimately for him.
Yes.
It's a plan for your life,
Yes.
but ultimately the plan is to bring God glory. So with that plan that he had for my life,
Yeah.
it's clear that's what he was doing. That was the calling, because here I am now bringing glory to his name.
Exactly, being a vessel. That's what we are, being vessels, right?
100%.
That's beautiful. And would you say that you are living in your purpose right now?
Definitely, I am living in part of it. I believe God has given me an array of gifts to tap into an array of industries, an array of markets, and
Yeah.
do different things, but ultimately for his glory. Or we have a production company called Seek First Films, and
Nice.
that is also one of the avenues that we are using
Yes.
to worship him,
Yeah.
and to grow the kingdom, using film and storytelling and
I
short
love
stories,
that.
music videos, whatever, but it's Christ related content.
Yes.
So I think, in everything that I'm doing, I think it is part of the bigger plan, part of the bigger picture. And music is just one of the things, and it is definitely part of that purpose.
It's truly about just utilizing all of the gifts, all of the talents, all of the skills that we have been given. It's not just ours.
Yes.
When we were mandated to come into this world, you signed a contract. That's what I believe, with God. This is what I'm giving you. This is what you're going to do. And we all have to fulfill that. So I love that you're doing it in more avenues than just music. And it's more, for lack of a better word, palatable to the youth even, who are the ones that desperately need to hear this message and need to hear more of this content. I love it. But music is also one of the ways that I think it connects us.
Yes.
It builds, it intercepts the artist and the listener or the audience. The lives get intercepted when you hear a song, and there's a spiritual message within each and every song, whether it's an upbeat or whether it's a praise and worship. There's a place where we all meet because we are all connected with God, right?
100%. Yeah.
And it's meant to influence that journey, that spiritual journey, and ignite it. So with regards to spiritual journey, would you give us a little bit about a look into your spiritual journey and where that is at the moment?
Oh, definitely. I always say I got saved so many times.
Yeah?
I got saved so many times before I got saved. And I don't even say I got saved anymore. And I know that's, the right Christian phrasing of it.
Yeah.
But I had gotten saved so many times because I didn't really understand what that meant. And so it only worked out when I finally recommitted my life to God. So I've always been Christian, right? But I would say I was lukewarm in a sense. I grew up in a Roman Catholic household. So we were kind of, sorry, but we were kind of forced to go to church.
Yes,
You know, that is the truth. We were forced to go to church. We didn't really understand why. We didn't really have a good understanding of the relationship, growing up. It was more of a religious thing. And so I turned away from that completely. But I still knew that I was a child of God. So I was going about my life, living my life in a lukewarm way, not really fully committing to God, but just saying, I'm a Christian. I know God. I love God. And only praying when things are tough, right? But it wasn't, and every time things were tough, I'd get saved.
Yes.
So every time things would get tough, I'd run to church.
Yes.
And every time the pastor does the altar call, I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay, who's getting saved this time? That's me. That was me, right? But it wasn't until I fully got an understanding that this is a relationship. It's not a religion. And only until I realized that, and this was for most of my teens and most of my early 20s as well. It was only later now as I reached 30, late 20s and 30, only then did I realize that it is a sustainable thing, because I thought I'd have to give up and quit so many things about myself. And it wasn't actually until I found CHH globally, Christian hip hop globally. I started listening to the music and I was like, oh, but these guys are all about Christ. Hey, these guys are all about God. Maybe this is sustainable. I mean, if these guys can sound so cool talking about God, perhaps this is a sustainable thing.
I
you
love
know?
that. I love that. I love
And only
also-
then was I able to
yeah.
give my life to God, because Christian hip hop actually saved me in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I do what I do, because I know there's so many kids out there who feel like it's not attainable. They listen to the gospel music, which is beautiful, but if you're coming from an environment, or if you're coming from an influence of hip hop, rap, pop, urban sounds, honestly, the traditional stuff is not going to sound appealing to you.
It isn't.
Or the
It
way it's
isn't.
packaged, because now I do a fusion of both.
Yeah.
The way it's packaged
Yeah.
is not going to be appealing to
And
you.
I love that you mentioned it's not about a religion, it's about a relationship with
Yes.
God. So a relationship looks different. Your relationship with God looks different to my relationship to the next person. So the same things that might get you inspired to continuously dive and immerse yourself into God, the divine, our creator, might not be the same for the next person.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Oh, I dig that. I dig that. One of your lines in All I Need, you say that, "Dear God, protect me from the things I want if they are not in accordance to your will." And all you need is a message about hope, right? Tell us a little bit more about the inspiration behind that, and why you also resonate a lot more with Bible verses, because I see you use it not only on your Insta posts, but it's also a source of inspiration for your music.
Yes, yes, yes. So I always say Christian hip hop is biblical.
It's biblical.
There's theology in there,
Yeah.
guys. It's not
Yeah.
just words, you
Yeah.
know. I would say the song was definitely inspired, and you'll hear this from a lot of artists. I think for the next 5 years, you're probably going to hear it. But we were going through a pandemic, the hardest time ever, and a lot of people were losing a lot of things. People were losing relationships, marriages, jobs, possessions, worldly possessions. People were losing a lot, and in everything that was going on, people were losing people. People were losing family members, right? And in everything that was going on, for me, I just wanted to bring a message that says, yes, you might have lost everything, but you still have all you need. So I think that's where the inspiration came from.
Yeah.
That yes, everything is gone, but
Yes.
God is still there, and if God is all you have, then
Yeah.
God is all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so relatable. We did all go through and are still going through and trying to pick up some of the pieces that we can, you know. But I love that when it comes to music, and you combine music with your spiritual belief, it takes you into a deeper sense where you are able to crawl and you are able to walk and you're able to see the horizon and you're able to see light. Music is kind of that escape that also assists you and motivates you. And for a lot of people, it's the hip hop genre.
Yes.
You know, but doing hip hop, there's a lot of misconceptions behind that. You know, like people think hip hop is associated with violence and over sexualizing things
Yes.
and all the negatives.
Yes.
When in actual fact, its roots can be traced back to spoken word, being
Yes.
medicine for the people, for the culture. So what are some of the misconceptions that you've had to bust as not just an artist in the hip hop, doing the hip hop genre, but a gospel artist
Yes.
doing hip hop?
Yeah, a lot of misconceptions. Just the church. Firstly,
Yes.
the church did not want to hear it at some point. And I think here in South Africa, it's something that we're still building. The fact that I'm out here means
Yeah.
progress has been
Yes.
made, right?
Yes.
But when I started,
Yeah.
I did get a lot of, I did get a lot of people
People
not,
like,
not for us, So
Yes.
the church is not accepting of us at times. Not all churches, people are coming around, but at times it's not accepting of us, because I think people just don't listen. You were able to quote a verse that is linked to scripture right there.
Exactly.
Right? And I think people are so caught up in their own perceptions,
Yeah.
those perceptions that you mentioned, that
Yes.
it's filled with misogyny, it's overly sexualized, it's gang violence and all of that. But if you actually listen, it can still be used as a positive tool. as in the way that I'm using it right now, and a few other artists are using it. So the church was not accepting. Christian media, which was a
Yes.
shock to me
Yeah.
at some point, was
Really?
also not accepting.
Yeah.
You must remember now, this is here, at least here in South Africa.
Yes.
This is something almost new. Well, not completely new, but
It's now bubbling up to the surface
it's
now.
now only now
Yeah.
as we push forward and show them that this is the word of God, as we do our best to do the convincing. Not only are we trying to save souls, but we also need to convince everyone else that we're trying to save souls, which just makes it even harder. So yeah, Christian media at some point was not really, but now we're starting to break through. Now we're getting our music playlisted. Now we're getting radio stations playing our music. Not all, some still need to get on board. It's true though. Yeah, and just I think the general public, the general consensus with the public or with Christians is that they're a bit more open to it.
Yeah.
I'd say Christian people are more open to it, but the church and the media needed to come along, and they're starting to
Well,
do
change
that
is
now.
definitely happening.
Yeah, people are ready for it. People want to hear the Christian music. People want to dance to it. People want to Christian rap music. People are ready.
Yeah.
But it's just obviously it can't be given to people if they
Yeah.
don't hear it on Christian media platforms or on any platform.
Yeah.
Secular platforms are playing it because they're like, oh, this is interesting. This is gospel, and they're supposed to be rejecting us.
The music,
So
yeah.
I'd say we still need a little bit more work, but I'm glad that we've made a lot of progress, and a lot of platforms have been showing me support.
No,
so
we're still
I thank them for
going.
that.
We're still going, and things are changing. Okay, so when you combine spirituality and music, as we mentioned earlier, it takes you into a different vibration. It takes you into a different space, into a different mindset altogether, right? What, in your opinion, connects people through music, people of different demographics? What do you think it is about the spirituality of music that can connect Melisa with somebody who is in West Africa or the other side of the hemisphere?
Sure, it's going to sound very simple, but
Yeah.
it literally is. We're all human. And so we all have that human experience. And yes, our demographics might be different, but at times we go through the same challenges. It might not be the exact same challenge, but it's the same sort of group of challenges. It's the same umbrella of challenges. And I think that is how, someone could connect with what I have to say. Because perhaps my story, just from the top of my head, would be, I was for the streets.
Yeah.
And someone else's story could be, I was living a life of crime. And when I put it that way in my rhymes, that I was for the streets, someone who was living a life of crime, maybe I was just out there having fun, going to the club, but they were out there, doing crime. And that experience is the same in that, we both came from there and we're both trying to make our way out. So just an example, guys.
I love
yeah, maybe
that.
I was a little bit for the streets, but
No, but your answer is
yeah.
perfect. It's the simplicity of keeping it to what we are, human beings, just being and going through what we go through, which is ultimately the same, just on different levels and in different calibers. It's but they say simplicity is the ultimate sophistication.
yes,
Right.
yes. Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to the music, to your music specifically. You've worked with so many people out there. You've worked with Grammy Award-winning producers, and you've also worked on a Fame C documentary. Please tell us a little bit more about the documentary and some of the projects you may be doing at the moment.
So I'll start with the producers that I worked with.
Yes.
I mean, I'll bring it back to this. For me, people always used to ask, how was the lockdown? And to be honest, the hard lockdown in 2020. And to be honest, it was one of the best moments in my life, because I really got to work with a lot of people, and not just here in South Africa, all over the world. So people were inboxing each other, people were sending each other messages, people were reaching out, people were at home, and they needed to be creative. So that's definitely how I started working with Tone Jones, who's a Grammy nominated producer. And then from there, because I'm doing many things, not just the music, we decided that, listen, let's drop this documentary about women who are the same as me, who do the same thing as me, but are all over the world. So we connected with people in Ghana, people in the UK, Zim, the US. And, we just got to having conversation with these women. They all recorded their parts from home. So it was so nice. It was more.
So you all did it from separate areas, and then it was just put together?
Yes. Wow. So I would say it was a co-production between myself and them, because they put in so much effort. They were so truthful to the questions. And I'm glad it's out, because it was the first of its kind, a documentary about women in Christian hip hop, which it's very rare, but we were able to tackle so many things there, and realize that we're not alone. There's a whole lot of us all over the world. So
what you said right there, we are not alone. A lot of us need to consistently hear that message, because we're living in a world where everybody looks like they're good by themselves, but ultimately they're not. And it's good to be reminded that you're not alone, especially as women, and as women in male-dominated industries, whether it's music, whether it's in the production, whether it's behind the scenes, or so I think that documentary is a very, very, very beautiful and good initiative.
Thank you.
I love how it all came together.
Yes.
From different areas.
Everyone putting their own effort into it. And it just came out so beautifully. We just literally just put the thing together. And it's amazing.
And where can people find it?
People can find it online, and people can also find it on Truth TV. As well, and on Faith TV.
Truth TV and Faith TV. You guys heard it. Lovely, man. So with all the hats that you wear, mom, entrepreneur, wife, actress, you doing production now, you there's so many things that you said that you're busy with. How does Melisa refill her cup? Because you're constantly pouring out. What are some of the spiritual practices that Melisa does to refill her cup?
This is something that I had to actually learn the hard way, because ministry in a way can also become an idol. So being a minister of music, trying to do faith-based productions, all of that constantly pouring out can actually take away from you, and sometimes you actually end up talking more about God than you talk to God, thinking that it's all good because I'm doing the work of God, but it's not. You still need to get down on your knees and pray every single day. So it's really, my rituals are really the simplest things. I try my best to spend time with God every single day. And if I fall short, I've got the Bible app. I don't know if I'm promoting them, but I've got the Bible app, which gives me a short little sermon. If I don't have the time, I can go listen to that and just find encouragement for the day. I read as well. I read as much as I can of the Bible. I'm still getting through the entire Bible. I'm still reading the entire Bible from start to finish. So that is how I make sure that my cup, it sounds so boring. It sounds so plain. It's what we're supposed to do. But you'd think that we know this, but we don't.
You think sometimes we would do what we're supposed to do, but quite the contrary.
We don't, and I try, if I can't, I'll listen to the Bible in my car, on the radio, and just as I'm driving, listen, get my word in that way.
But I love that you're saying that, it sounds a little bit boring, but it's the actual truth. These are the things that you need to do to maintain your relationship with the Most High, to maintain your relationship with yourself, to keep yourself sane in order for you to continue to do the work that we've been put here to do.
Yes,
Right.
yes. And those conversations with him as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes we think prayer is getting down on your knees,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but sometimes it's just, I'm in traffic, I'm frustrated. Lord, please.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
me through this. It's
Yeah.
those little conversations.
Yes.
He's like a friend, you know.
And just coming back to them, because with anything in life, sometimes we fall off a little bit. But even if you do, it's coming back. Like you said, if you're in the car, going somewhere, just say a quick prayer. You know what? If you have your phone, we have access to so much in this
Yes.
day and age. You literally have zero excuse to say,
Yes.
I don't have good content that will get me in touch with my God. This show, for starters, we have so much power within our hands to control what we are consuming. And I love that you mentioned that.
Yes.
People need to be reminded of that so much. Okay, Melissa, where can people find your music? Where can people follow you? Where you at?
Well, I'm at Melissa God Grace on all digital platforms, and my music is also available on all digital platforms as well.
I love it. I love it so much, Melissa. Thank you so much for being here. Before I let you go, I'm going to ask you to drop us a little outro when we exit. I hope I'm not putting you on the hot plate. Just a quick one.
Protected by the one who's most high. Ngivikelwa inkosi, all my needs he provides. I used to be a hustler who's trying to get by. Now he's daughter, not a diva, kiss the old me goodbye. I pledge allegiance to the King of all kings. I'm dying to myself, so let the funeral begin. I'm going 6 feet under, and I'm free from my sins. Gonke gutala guwe baba, you are where it begins. Uyingwele nkosi, and it's a fact. Ujesu fige ekseni, yes, my God got my back. And when I'm walking through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize that I'm blessed.
Yay!
And when the world is shaky, you the one I'm leaning on. And when my life gets crazy, I'ma keep on keeping on.
Oh.
And when the world is changing, you remain the same, my Lord. Took me out of Babylon when I uyinkosi am.
Hey! I love it. I love you. I love it.
Thank
you
you.
so much, Melissa.
Thank you.
This brings us, unfortunately, to the end of our show. But before we go, fam, I leave you guys with a consider this moment. Today's quote is from the legendary, the late, my one ancestral father, Bob Marley. He says, one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. So if ever you find yourself, soul family, at a place where you don't even have the words to say, you don't even know how to interpret what you're feeling or what you're going through, you don't even know how to answer what is the challenges that you may have in front of you, just take it to the music. Take it to the music and connect. Music that is going to lift you up. Music that is going to put you in the space, in the direction to continue to turn your face to the light, to the Lord, to the Most High, that is going to help you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you stay tuned to all our social media. Mine is at Phumpie and of course at Your Media, to stay inspired and to stay connected with great people and great content. As always, the intention is ascension, vibrate higher through shalom. The intention is ascension, vibrate higher through shalom.
Yes, I love it. That's a song.
I dig it. I wish you so much love and may your cup overflow. As for me, shalom.